Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone Live. Sorry about the washing machine in the background. It's about to stop spinning now, so we'll be able to hear me a little bit better. But Undercover Trooper with a 4.99 super chat for the TARDIS clan for finally letting me watch Old Who again with a smile. Thank you all. Listen, remember, we do have Classic Who, and we'll always have Classic Who. And even up to a point, we have some of New Who as well. So, there's lots to be thankful for. My guest Rabbi will be joining me. I've sent him a link. So we're just waiting on him to jump in. And we've got plenty to talk about. So, Bradley Walsh was obviously on Beat the Chasers, so it's obviously a variant on The Chase. And one of the contestants was basically having a bit of banter with Bradley Walsh, and he says, "Oh, I watched The Chase, and I actually watched Doctor Who." The audience clapped, and then with that, the contestant replied, "Yeah, but the new series isn't that great." And The Chase, or everybody in the audience start laughing. Bradley Walsh kind of raised his eyebrows, but it was a very interesting reaction. I don't know if anybody has actually seen that video. If you haven't, it's well worth checking out. It's been floating about on Twitter, so I don't know if it's actually on YouTube. So you might be able to check that out. Also, Paul Cornell. Obviously, he's been a topic of conversation recently with some of his antics. He's still gone around blocking people. But the interesting thing is he made an announcement on Twitter to say that he had signed a new deal to write comic books, I think, for 3 different licensees. So the shilling worked. The ass kissing worked. But here's the thing, and Rabbi, I seen Rabbi's tweet on it actually. It's funny, he's doing these comics, yeah, and he's already alienated half of his customer base even before he's even written that. And not only that, the comic book industry, as you know yourself, is in tatters. So yeah, good on you. Well done, Paul Cornell. I hope it was worth it anyway. But we've got our first guest. Now we will have a guest joining us for the last half hour. They'll be on later on. But we've got a regular on this show. We might as well call it a show now at this stage. And it's Rabbi from Another Planet. Welcome, Rabbi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm not too bad. I know you've got plenty to talk about as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you just want to just give us a brief, just a kind of brief overlay what you want to talk about, because I've listed the 2 things that I want to talk about.
There's a lot of subsections between all of them.
Right.
Most of the Paul Cornell stuff. That thing that he announced was a cry of desperation. It was terrible. Okay, that was a nothing burger. He's not. I would be amazed if he's getting any money down. What company is giving him a money down on a creator-owned project? Creator-owned project means you don't get any money up front unless it's like, Marvel or DC, and neither Marvel or DC have a creator-owned wing anymore. DC recently had to close their creator-owned imprint, Vertigo, which is where they would put a creator-owned thing, because it was mismanaged by social justice warriors into extinction, along with Mad Magazine. Basically, all that's been cleared out of DC now, because DC have decided when they really faced death, they decided that they wanted to live, and so they invented this whole new distribution system. And DC has been quite impressive. But it's like a guy who's suicidal, and then when he goes to actually finally do it and he's about to pull the trigger, he realizes he wants to live. That's where DC Comics is right now. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. Paul Cornell, him signing a deal for a creator-owned thing with a company is laughable. It's laughable. He's not going to make it. Okay, I have a graphic novel that I am about 45 pages into right now, drawing and writing it. When I get to like 1,000 subs, and when I get more, like I'm trying to get more into the Comic Gate streams, but when I do that more, I'm going to launch it as an Indiegogo, and I guarantee you, just through the strength of this audience, of YouTube, of the Fandom Menace, just through the strength of that, and also I have to tell you, it's a pretty darn good comic book, that I will make so much more money and sell so many more copies than he will in all three of his things put together. Because like he doesn't understand, he's in a different universe. He can't be aloof anymore. His entire survival as a writer in the comic field relies on cultivating an audience, and quite frankly, the audience he decided to keep is the audience that doesn't buy comic books. You know, the people who buy comic books aren't the blue check marks on Twitter. They will give you the worthy applause. They will not buy your comic. They will not support your comic. And so, like, if it's a create your own thing, forget it. You announced nothing. You announced a deal that a company agreed to publish something of yours if you make it. But if he's really lucky, they may be putting up the money for production, but probably not. Probably not. You know, that's the state of the industry right now. Why would anybody expend any cash in this kind of industry? Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, it was a nothing but. And I believe he was directly answering me on Twitter because I freaked him out because he, you know, and he blocked me. What it was, there was somebody. It was just on my Twitter feed. Somebody asked him like, "Well, why did you block me?" And there was a thread going on. I said the reason he blocked you is because he thought you might not like the new series Doctor Who, and because of that, in his bonkers head, is that translated into you being like a ist or a foe, which is of course nonsense. Yeah, and then I said, it went on and said that it's really sad because at the moment there's about in his industry there's going to be a lot less jobs for writers right now. And so, yeah, everything depends on him. You have to cultivate an audience. He just alienated most of his audience, his paying audience. And then I said, I really don't understand how you square that with being a Christian as well. How you like prejudge people, and you prejudge people that I personally know you prejudge them incorrectly. Like I know you, I know Starry Eyed, I know Bob Walsh, yeah, I know all you people, and like none of you are racist in any way, shape, or form. It's ridiculous. Or any of these folks, who knows why he blocks people? But yeah, he prejudged you. That is such an anti-Christian value. You know, so anti. It really is, and it's and he does make a big deal about being a Christian. So I put that on his Twitter feed, and he blocked me for some reason.
Yeah, he's blocking everybody. He's kind of doing this in the past.
So yeah, that was point A. Point B was this morning I wrote a short story, which was a sequel to Human Nature, and it was rather good. I was quite impressed with it. I sent you a link. Did you see it yet?
No.
Okay. Did you see the sequel to Human Nature that he wrote? Did you hear about it?
No, didn't want. I'm not interested in that, Paul.
Okay, let me tell you how stupid it was. Okay, you really got to. Yeah, you missed. This is why you've got to keep watching what they're doing, because it's not Doctor Who. This is a parody of Doctor Who, and you just got to be informed because it's fascinating. It's insane what they're doing. Okay, so in this story that Paul Cornell wrote, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor shows up, and apparently there's been all these different Doctors that never existed. There's like a red-headed one, and the one who said it was the last one, and all these Doctors that you hadn't seen before. Because that's how I was like getting rid of canon. I was in that one or the other one. Anyway, so Jodie Whittaker's Doctor shows up, and she asks them if the girl in the mirror. She asks him if she's repented, if she's like reformed in any way. And the girl says, "Nah, no, not really. I'm still a psychopathic killer, and I'll still kill lots of people." And so Jodie went, "Hey up, I'm going to show you what mercy's like, because I'm so merciful. Look at me being merciful." And she takes her and she frees her from the mirror, and then she drops her off in a highly populated area, armed with her deadly balloon, right? And then so the girl's about to go and the blue was going to eat Jodie's face off. I was like, yes, okay, it's the right instinct. But the only reason Jodie Whittaker survived that fate is because her doctor survived that fate is because she'd left in the TARDIS by then, leaving a psychopathic killer supervillain armed with a weapon of choice in a densely populated area for reason. Almost so Jodie's doctor could feel like she's a virtuous, merciful person.
Yeah, boy, letting loose a killer.
Yeah, so I wrote a sequel to that where Sylvester McCoy's doctor turns up and like sees all the carnage. I had to clean it up, and he's like, "Oh my god, yeah, we've been doing a lot cleaning up recently with her."
And Rabbi, all the previous doctors we never met that showed up, if I remember correctly, they were all men, right?
Well, what?
All the previous doctors that showed up to talk to her and told her she had to stay in her little mirror prison. If I remember.
Obviously, yes, obviously.
They're all men, right?
Of course, because Paul Cornell is just a little shill.
Because only the female doctor could possibly.
Yeah, he did, but he went on this blocking street. It's so funny.
Yeah, I know, it was painful.
And let me see if I can find the link. Yeah, I gave it a silly name, see if I remembered it rightly. Hang on. Right. Oh, I got it right. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat. 1 second. If you go to my website, Biblical Comics, I called it biblicalcomics.com poking out because poking out because it sounds like Paul Cornell.
That's funny.
So there you go. You read it and share it. When I put it on Twitter, you guys, we got to share it. You got to make it go viral. It's really good. I have to tell you, I was actually surprised how good it came out.
Well, the doctor's God now. She's allowed to do horrible things to good people, says John Goff. Jesus. Oh, do you know what? I've been having a very interesting interactions with some of these little shills. Yeah, actually, that brings me to one of them. Probably the most famous one in this fandom that has a YouTube channel. Is all who I'm talking about. Mr. TARDIS Reviews himself has come out with a new video on the ratings. Jesus Christ, this guy.
What is he spinning them that they're good?
Just go and look at his video.
Okay, no, you have to tell me how.
No. Just watch his video. No. I can't even explain it. I can't. He's using.
Oh, don't make me watch.
He's using crazy things. Yeah, as the excuse now. Oh, shut up. TARDIS Reviews. Number one. Right. Right, no matter which way you spin this, you bleeding gobshite, 68% of this audience have walked away. It's nothing got to do with it. By the way, that brings me on to Bradley Walsh's clip, right? Now, while that fan did kind of like, embarrass him a little bit, the one thing that was evident from that clip, though, was as soon as the name Doctor Who was mentioned, the audience were in uproar. And I mean, they were clapping and cheering, right? There is still love for Doctor Who. The problem that we have is the writing, and it's always been the bloody writing. So listen, Mr. TARDIS Reviews, I'll say it to you again, right? These videos that you're doing are a waste of time. The ratings, you could spin it. You could say it's a cultural thing, a societal thing. I don't care, right? If you give people good Doctor Who, you see what happened on Twitter.
You give people good Doctor Who, we'll decide to watch Doctor Who again.
5 million tweets, right? Mr. TARDIS Reviews, 5 million tweets. So go and stuff your facts, your logic, right, where the sun don't shine, because 5 million tweets tells you all you need to bloody know. That when you're given decent Doctor Who, when you're given Doctor Who that actually resembles Doctor Who, the fans will still get behind it. Well, I'm still convinced that there's still a lot of damage done. You're still going to have a lot of problems of convincing every single fan to come back. But It does.
No, it's not the fans you've got to convince to come back. It's the general audience.
Yeah.
They're the ones who walked away. They're the ones that went, no, forget this. This is nonsense. I can't be bothered with preaching bull crap. They're the ones who walked away, and they're the ones who aren't going to come back in a hurry. They're going to take a lot of convincing. But it's interesting. Yeah, well, of course the crowd's going to go crazy as soon as Doctor Who's mentioned. It's going to be everybody knows Doctor Who is shit. Everybody knows it, And if you mention it with the star of Doctor Who in the room, it's going to be embarrassing. It's a national joke.
Yeah.
It's no secret how bad it is. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, they can spin things however they want. But at the end of the day, they've got to show the episodes. And still, they can't get away from that fact. When they show the episodes, they're always like, "Oh my god, it's the worst thing ever."
By the way, there's someone on Twitter trying to organise a Jodie Whittaker watch along, right? And I actually wrote, right? And I don't care, see, because I don't have any more respect for these people anymore. So I wrote in, "Listen, mate, you're wasting your time. Nobody wants Jodie Whittaker watch alongs." I said they did one already, and nobody gave a flying crap. I said, RTD did one a couple of weekends ago, 5 million tweets, all you need to know. You're wasting your time. By the way, I just wanted, problem being it's actually 68%. It's from the woman who fell to earth to the timeless children. There's actually a 68% drop off, not 57. It's actually more. If you take the AI into consideration, the 28 consolidated, and you take in the other figures, it's 68%, which is like over half of your audience anyway. Even your figure is still way. If it was any without the name Doctor Who, this be cancelled, right? It'd be gone. We wouldn't be watching Doctor Who. Wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
right? That
would be better.
Right now. And Mammy is leaving because Teddy is wrecking her head.
Matt sounds wrecking my head.
Oh, I am? I told you I'd go into the room.
No, it's fine.
Fine. I don't know. Right, anyway, let's get on.
What else is going on? There's also so I haven't seen the clip yet of Bradley Walsh, but that's gonna be hilarious. That's just going to hurt more and more. Like, can you imagine when next time Jodie does an appearance anywhere? Like, anytime she will do an appearance where it's not a controlled crowd, she's screwed. They can't do that. It'd be hilarious. It's gonna happen. Sooner or later, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. And I've noticed with Mr. Tardar's reviews, though, he always puts in, you'll always notice in the messages, in the comments, he deliberately, right, he's doing these videos deliberately anyway, because you can tell by the comments that he's leaving in that, this might be controversial to a few. So he's only doing these to bait fans in, to be quite honest with you. But the thing about it is that this lunatic actually believes in what he's saying. And if you even read some of the comments as well, it's actually ridiculous. I actually left a comment. Actually, I haven't even had a look to see if he's even replied back to the comment. That'd actually be a good idea to see if he did. We spoke about that. So for anybody that doesn't know, because Nicholas Horton with a £5 super chat, but we did say it at the start. Did you hear about what happened on The Chase the other day when a contestant asked Bradley Walsh about his character of Graham? I didn't see that part. I'd seen the part where the contestant said to him that he was a fan of Doctor Who and a fan of The Chase, but wasn't a fan of the current series. And Bradley had to raise his eyebrows a bit. But the interesting thing about that, and I actually want to talk about it, some people say he looked genuinely annoyed. I disagree. I actually think if you see his reaction and him looking at the Chase or the Beast, I think he knows it's shit. Look at his reaction.
There's nobody who doesn't know it. The only person who doesn't know it shit is Chibnall. Maybe Whittaker. Of course he knows it. How do you not know that shit? Really? There's no way you don't know that shit. Listen. J.J. Abrams knows the Rise of Skywalker with shit. He knows, he's not going to go, oh, that's good. No, he knows it's shit. Everyone knows it's shit. How can yeah? That's the problem he's in. It's too obviously shit.
Of course it is, and they're still trying to defend it though. Do you know what? I'd have more respect for him now if he actually came out and said it was, and actually didn't do us. Because I'll tell you why. He does have an awful lot of influence, whether he realizes it or not, right? And he can use it for good or bad. Right now, I think he's using it for bad. I'm being honest, you are. If you're still defending this, you're using it for bad. Why not come and use it for good? Because you've got so many followers. It doesn't matter if you lose some. It's about integrity. It's about actually saying what you truly believe. And I don't know. Sometimes I do watch your videos and I actually convinced that you do believe the bullshit you're coming out because you've been saying it so long now. Maybe you actually do believe it all. And then on the other hand, then I'll watch your videos and some of the points that you make, it's a far stretch that I'm like kind of thinking, is he really believing all of this, what he's right? Come on.
I've never seen this stuff before. I got to check it out.
You just need to, YouTubers like him though, and I'll say it, and there's another YouTuber out there that's had a go at myself in the past and Matrix Lord, who I won't mention, but he's the same kind of YouTuber, has defended this era from day one and has sent these goons, pretended that they're actually, that they're actually going around trolling everybody's account, but we actually know who it is. I'm not stupid. I've been in this game, 2 years doing this YouTube channel, so I know what it's like. I don't have as much experience as these other guys, but I've learned very quickly, that there are snakes out there and there are YouTubers out there that just won't listen to when logic is actually hitting them in the face. Listen,
well, I think they're just embarrassed because they really chose the side really hard and they felt they're being really virtuous by doing it.
I know, straight away. That's the thing, boy. They did straight away. Straight away they did. There was no hesitation. It was instantaneously.
Right.
And because I don't know. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Christmas special is coming up. Does anybody really give a shit?
Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, listen, I know you want to review it, but is there any point? Nobody cares. So who's going to watch it?
You know what? I am on board for everything they put. I want to see everything they do. I've realized that, when I started reading the fanfic they put out, when the short stories, I want to know this stuff because I think knowledge is power. I just do. All that you know of the crazy things they're doing, interesting it is.
What was I gonna say? There was something I had on me mind. What was it? It will come back to me. Go ahead anyway.
What else? Did we get any more details about Legacy of the not Legacy of Time, the Time Lord Victorious? We didn't get any more details about that.
No, none. Actually, I wanted to ask you something. Actually, it's about an animation. So, Power of the Daleks is obviously.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is a shameless cash grab, but I'm quite happy about it. I'll explain why.
See, hang on. Before you do, though, do you know what? I think you do be too forgiving with the BBC. Time Lords Victorious, this Power of the Daleks now is clearly the only reason why they're doing something like this is because they need money. And by the way, I also point out that I saw on Twitter that the BBC actually have to do cost-cutting measures now. They have to save over 10 million or something. 10 million. No. I know it's nothing, but they still have to do it. It could be 10 million or 100 million. I could have been reading it wrong, but it was 10
100 million. Much more likely. That sounds that would have.
Well, they've got to save money anyway. So, it's different things to generate cash. I'm sorry, I'm being cynical here, but
but it's interesting that I think they have to generate cash because that's a major part of where their budget comes from. and that cash flow has been severely curtailed. And I think they know that, and they need to get some saleable Doctor Who in so they can make their garbage.
Yeah,
that's what I think is going on.
Yeah, and I will agree with you
at the end of the day, the joke's on them. The joke is always on them, because whatever happens, we're going to be laughing. If they I most likely is they just won't get to production because there's going to be a chain reaction of disasters.
Yeah,
will certainly happen because all these people
there's serious flaws in this Time Lord Victorious thing. I've been looking at reaction as well.
I mean, don't know anything about it yet. What's the flaws?
This multi-platform format is actually annoying some fans. The suggestion I made was quite simple: a 6-part mini-series to do this story, to tell this story. But unfortunately, of course, it won't happen because the current Doctor is obviously a woman, and you wouldn't want to show up a woman in 2020, because if you do, you're some sort of sexist pig or whatever other name they want to label you. But I still don't like the idea of this multi-platform, and I mean, to experience the whole thing, you would have to buy every single thing.
That's the good thing about it. You really don't. It's going to be very hard to be. It's virtually impossible to be a completist about it, which means you can just dip into whatever you want from it. Like, you're probably not going to buy
fans out there, as I said, that have the cash that'll be able to buy the whole lot. And,
for example, I'm not going to buy the stuff that I wouldn't read. I'm not going to buy a novel unless it's by somebody I really, really like. But I'm probably not going to buy a book. I will buy a comic book depending on who creates it.
I know, but I still think you're missing the point, though. And the point is, it doesn't matter, right? You can afford to buy certain things and you won't buy other things because maybe you don't want them because you don't like reading or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But the point is, Doctor Who's supposed to be inclusive. It's supposed to be for everybody. So it's supposed to be... Hang on. It's supposed to be for all fans, no matter what their cash flow is.
Exactly. No, you're making a very good point. So the reason your point is good right now is normally there's really good Doctor Who on TV, right? You get really good Doctor Who for free. That's part of your license fee. Now all of a sudden they give you fake Doctor Who, this phony crap Doctor Who, and say, well, if you want the really good stuff here, now you've got to pay. Yeah. That's totally out of line. You're 100% right. You're already paying the license fee for it. Do the Jodie stuff for the extra money, right? Do the Jodie stuff, and we'll take the good stuff on the TV.
That's it. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if Jodie is so popular, Big Finish and all these comics will be killing it. But as we know, that's not the case, and this is again why I have a problem with it. Right now, the fans are crying out for good Doctor Who, and yes, I agree with you. It's still a shameless cash grab. But if they had made it accessible for all fans, well, then they would have seen. I think they would have seen their profits triple. Their profits would have tripled. Fans of all ages. If this is something that a lot of us, especially, have been waiting for. This Time Lord Victorious, we've wanted this story, and it's
right. Just let's wait and see what they're going to say. They may have a really reasonable offer. I'm a big believer in not condemning people until they actually do the crime. Let's wait and say. I mean, now if they're going to put out a lot of this really expensive stuff, that's obnoxious. And
there's going to be games. Some of the games could be free, or you might have to pay for the games. It all depends where the games are. Are they going to be available just on PC? Are they available on your phone? Are they available on PlayStation, Xbox? Right? We know the comics will be Titan comics and other comics. Then we have the audios, obviously, for a Big Finish as well. Then we have vinyl. I wouldn't mind getting the vinyl myself because I'm a vinyl fan. So the vinyl, I'd be blown away by the vinyl. So I might take a look at that if it's not expensive. But vinyl is expensive. It's about €40 for a vinyl of Doctor Who over here. Like I've seen them €40, like you know what I mean, for a vinyl. So again, I think there is a missed opportunity though. But I will agree with you. Let's wait and see what happens, see what other details we get. And then me and Rabbi we will definitely, when new details come out with this, we will come on this channel. We will break it down. We'll break it down. Rabbi will give his feelings on it. I'll give my feelings on it. But right now, I'm not as optimistic as Rabbi is. But Rabbi is an optimist, and that's why I love him. Because it rubs off me sometimes, but in this case, I just think they have.
You know what? I mean, I would really like if they do a giant action figure of David Tennant in the Time Lord, in the battle Time Lord regalia. I would really love that. But if they don't, or if they make it like $100 or something, I'll be like, well, I guess I'm not having that then. You don't have to have all the parts. If they make it that you do have to get everything, then they're total dicks. Then they are really out of line.
I think they will, though. That's the thing. I think they will. I think because they're elitists, that's the way they think. They don't think of everybody.
No. This is not the BBC. These are companies that need to keep customers. This is not a one-time hit for them. Big Finish does not want to alienate all their customer base. Titan Comic, none of them want to alienate customers.
You're getting a lot of love in the chat, by the way.
Like a multi comic crossover, and real completists want to get every issue, right? But you don't have to.
I know, but to get the complete story, I feel that you would have to get all the news.
I'm not going to the escape room. I'm not doing that. I'm not flying to London for it. Okay, that's not happening. That would be
guys in the live chat though. Any of you looking forward to this announcement? I mean, more details on this potential story. How are people feeling in the live chat? We know how Rabbi feels. He's excited. He's like a kid at Christmas, to be quite honest. Yeah, me, I'm a bit more, cynical.
Christmas is a great.
I will stress because Rabbi is here. I will stress though. I might be cynical right now, but I am open-minded at the moment. Until I see more details, I can't really say 100% that this is this, that, and the other. But right now, they've only announced a small little detail of it. But if you do need, as Rabbi said, and we both agree on this, if you do need to get every single part, now remember they have said that there is a summary kind of thing. How is that going to work for the people that are actually paying for all it is? Because the summary would have to be very vague. Think about it. If people are paying for different parts of this, right, they're given a summary. Well, the summary won't be able to give much detail. It has to be very vague because the people that are paying for that spoiler away, we have to pay for that spoiler, but you're giving it away in the summary.
I think there's going to be like core elements and there's going to be like periphery elements. I think it's more like a patchwork. There's going to be like a core story that will go through. Like you probably need like an audios. The audios will probably have one strain of the story. The comics will probably have another strain. And if you get both, they'll probably mesh together nicely.
Yeah, and I reckon VR, and this is where okay. That's okay for people that can afford VR. Again, it's out of my price range.
VR, it costs you $30.
Nah, it's there or here, man. Go and check out in Ireland. Go on.
Google Cardboard. It's like a cardboard box. It's $30. You fold it up. You put your phone in it, right? And then you put the VR app on your phone, and you get everything. It's freaking incredible. $30, full VR.
Oh, you always have an answer for everything, don't you?
Life is good, okay? Life is we're supposed to be happy.
I'd be happy if they made it for all. As you said,
$30 to get the experience. $30. That's not prohibitive.
Right, we'll wait and see what happens with it anyway.
Or even if you get like
we'll see what happens with Time Lord Victorious. It's going to be. I will say, it has generated some excitement. Again, guys, as I asked you in the chat, is anybody looking forward to it, or are people just simply done with anything Doctor Who? And that brings me on to the next question I wanted to ask you, Rabbi. There's another watch along, as you know, coming soon, and I think it's another Paul Cornell story, isn't it?
Oh, they're doing what's the one? It's a great story as well. Father's Day.
Oh, they're doing Father's Day.
Are they doing Father's Day?
Are they doing Father's Day? Hold on, I'll tell you now.
That's the only other Paul Cornell story there is. It's a great story.
Right, well, if it's Father's Day, who wrote Father's Day again?
Paul Cornell.
Right, so it's Father's Day, so Paul Cornell. So the question
I'm not doing a watch along with him.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any.
No, I'm out of that as well. Screw it.
No, we're not doing anymore. We'll do our own. Well, no, but what I wanted to ask was this. With his recent conduct lately, is this going to affect this next tweet along now? Are we going to see the beginning of the end of the tweet?
That's my fear, and that's why I really want to be on it. Okay, that's why I really want us to be on it, because it was fantastic. We were enjoying it, and I just don't want them to take it away from us. You know, at least not without a fight. I want to give it a try. I want to give it a real try to enjoy it again. And if we can get back into it, that's fantastic. We know just to avoid the divisive ones. Right,
yeah,
and a response for those ones.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised now. I have to say, a lot of people are saying they're done, and that seems to be the case. Actually, I've also noticed as well, people on Twitter. I just got one tonight. Now, I'm not bad mouthing anybody. I never would, especially on this side of the fandom. But you can see that they're fed up because I was actually asked if I could unfollow someone on Twitter tonight because they didn't want to be tagged in any posts or at anymore on Twitter. And this was someone that followed me from the very beginning. Doctor Who. I've also noticed as well that a lot of subscribers have bounced as well. Look, I said it from the very beginning, you know, when the show is this bad and you do what you did in the last story, that's the consequence. It's not just the show, it's not just the audience.
No, it's everything around it.
It's everything around it as well. Go ahead.
A whirlwind of suck and hurt around it. Yes, you know, but you know what I think of the greatest crime of Chibnall is? Looking back, I'm coming back to my 50s. I got a bit of like a broader look on life right now than I had like 10 years ago. And I think one of my happiest moments in life was when my kids were young, about 10 years ago, watching Doctor Who with them and having them really enjoy it with me. Yeah. And it was just so much fun. It was wonderful. And I'm just really angry that there are so many people out there who don't have that now.
Yeah.
Because of this arrogant little prick.
I agree with you. It is sad because we had that.
I mean, it was so happy.
David says he's done with everything BBC. A lot of people say, I've noticed even the YouTube channel, I think people would rather me cover art and put this now at this stage. It even looks like even on my Twitter, when I put up a Doctor Who post, nobody gives a crap. I put it up on Facebook. The first person that comes on, it's always, I don't care, in big letters. Nobody cares. Do you know what? I don't even think I want
that's the thing that they put on to dishearten you, to make you stop doing it. That's why they put the nobody cares.
There's a lot of people, and I will say this, I've noticed as well, though, that there are people out there that are telling people, look, you know, let people make up their own minds. If people look, I haven't went and said to people, I think you're wrong. If they've wanted to go and do their own thing, and if people want to not follow the channel anymore, I understand that because of the climate that we're in right now. Doctor Who is not popular. Nobody.
Right. So no, just put you don't. Here's the thing: you don't have to take away anything. You just add on new things. Just talk about new things. I think like my channel is mainly Doctor Who because that's the stuff I get like the best response from. But I always try and do one not Doctor Who thing a day to give a little like broadness to it. So it allows me to
I'm not covering that in Doctor Who anymore. To be honest with you, I'm really seriously considering not. Because I'm just Paul Cornell was the last straw as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, I know it should have been. I know it was way before that, but yeah, I'm thinking.
Again, like when you think about it, it's so sad. It's so sad that he sold himself so completely for just a shot at some kind of like I don't even know what it is. Like he sold himself so completely. Like that's how desperate he is. That's just so sad. Like, come on, nobody thinks The Timeless Children was a great piece of writing. Nobody thinks that. There has been even the shilliest shills have really tried hard to like find something to be positive about. But like even SFX magazine were like, even like it's getting a bit tired. Or the surprise, like all that stuff. Like so, they're finding it. People are finding it harder to shill for them. So it's again their biggest problem, as I keep saying, is that they have to eventually let people see these episodes they spent a year and a half working on, or 2 years working on. Because they're going to be awful.
Yeah, I'm not really bothered anymore. I'm only got. I'm actually seriously considering that the next live stream that I do, I'm just going to bring on guests, and that'll be the last time I talk about Doctor Who on this channel. I think. No, I think I'm finally done. I don't even see the point of talking about this rubbish anymore because that's what it is. It's rubbish. I actually don't. It's like I'm sitting here and I'm bored shitless. I don't want to talk about Doctor Who anymore. It's dead. It's done.
We're talking about we're talking about the wrong Doctor Who. That's the problem. We should talk about things that we like.
I'll still do the classic watch-alongs with you, but I'm not covering this shit show anymore. I'm not even addressing Paul after this live stream. I'm not addressing Paul Cornell or any of these rubbish anymore. That's what they want. They want attention. I'm not giving them attention.
No. Don't let them drive you out, that's what they want.
No. They drove me out already. I've just been hanging on.
Again.
Look at even people out there, and I won't mention names, right? But it's annoying me. There's people. Listen, I've worked very hard on this channel the last 2 years. I've worked very hard for the last 2 years to rally this fandom. We finally got somewhere during Series 12, and then some people come waltzing into the fandom, and then all of a sudden, then twist a few heads, and now everybody doesn't give a shit. So why should I give a shit? I don't give a shit. Your fans keep telling me that they don't give a shit anymore. Why should I give a shit? Why? Why should I give a shit anymore if they don't give a shit anymore? I'm kidding myself. Right? They've walked away. Nobody wants. Listen, I'm losing subscribers because I keep talking about Doctor Who.
No one tell you not to cover other things. Cover other things, but like also cover Doctor Who. Don't let them drive you out. They drive
the fandom already. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm done with the show. Done covering series. This era Doctor Who. I'm not doing any more articles. I'm not covering any more. Time Lord Victorious can go and kiss me arse as well. I'm not doing any more. I'm just done.
There's nothing even to cover right now. They're not doing anything.
I don't care. Even when there is news to cover, I'll just watch your videos. I'm not covering it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm serious. I am done covering anything to do with Chris Chibnall's era after this live stream. This is the very last live
Okay,
stream.
but what if we screw it up in a massive way? Okay, what happened?
So Chris Chibnall, well done to all you J-bots, Mr. TARDIS reviews, Bet from the Time ladies, all you other little fucking poxy little shills out there. Congratulations, you've won. Game on.
No, I have a question for you.
You've got what you want. I'm rebranding the channel. I'll come up with a new name. I'm done with Doctor Who. Bye bye. Adios, amigo. Fuck off.
No, I have a question for you. What if tomorrow morning you wake up and you find out overnight a video had dropped of Chris Chibnall having sexual relations with a pig?
Yeah.
And it was all over the internet. Would you not want to cover that in some way, shape, or form? And apparently, he likes the pig to be the more dominant in his love making.
No, I don't want to cover him anymore. I'm not giving him any more oxygen.
You really wouldn't want to cover that.
No more oxygen.
You wouldn't want to cover
after tonight, his name is never getting mentioned on this channel again.
Yeah, think this through, no. This is a great story. I don't think I can give you a better story than this.
No, I'm done. Don't care. He could fly to the moon. She could land on the fucking moon and meet aliens. I don't give a shit. Done. They're not getting any more oxygen on this channel. Done. This is the last stream.
Okay. How about
No, I'm done. It doesn't matter what. Listen, Cheryl will tell you there's no point of you coming up with different options because I'm going to say no to everyone. Once I've made up my mind, you have during this stream. Because I'll tell you what, I am sitting here right now. No disrespect to all you guys. I am sitting here right now and I am bored shitless. I'm bored, right? I'm bored talking about the state of Doctor Who. I don't care. They won. They got what they wanted. They don't have much now, but they got what they wanted. They wanted me gone for 2 years. They finally got their wish, right? Congratulations. You didn't win much, but congratulations anyway. I am done talking about this era. I don't care if he fucking falls off a roof tomorrow and it's headline news. I don't care if he gets sacked tomorrow and they say that I'm not covering it. I don't care if he gets sacked. Well done. Congratulations, BBC. Too fucking late. Done. Classic Who only. Classic Who only. That's all I'm having on this channel is Classic Who. I'm not talking about this era anymore. I'm really not. It's annoying me now. I am not talking about it anymore. This is the last stream on it, and I'm done.
Okay, but there's really not much to talk about. Again, they're not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, doesn't matter what they're doing. I mean, they've ruined everything that's good about it anyway. They've ruined a great fandom.
Yeah, I agree with you. They
ruined a great show. They've just ruined all the goodwill. You know, BBC as a corporation, you know, people were very easy to attack BBC, and over the years they've deserved every single piece of it.
Do we know if
there was a time when BBC gave a shit about the audience, Rabbi, and actually gave a shit about making decent TV shows, whether it was Only Fools and Horses, Faulty Towers, Doctor Who, Red Dwarf, you name it, right? It doesn't matter. They only cared about making quality TV because they knew what they would bring in the dough, and they've completely done a 180. Now it's not about entertaining the audience anymore; it's about preaching to your audience, and
everything's about that.
Yeah,
you know what's really amazing? The J-bots will say, "Well, listen, television audiences are lower all around nowadays. It's a cultural thing." They'll say that, right?
Yeah, I know. And listen, I'm not giving out to you. I know what you're like. And by the way, guys, he's not forcing me or trying to change my mind. Rabbi is always an optimist, and he'll always try to see good in something. Right now, I'm just seriously just during this stream. I just lost.
No, I can totally hear it in your voice. I can totally hear you, Dan. Yeah, that's why I backed off. Because, I can hear it. You're like, and honestly, it's fair enough as well. You know, how much more can anyone do?
Paul Cornell just doesn't realise the damage he's actually done. Because up until that point, even though the goodwill with the BBC still wasn't there, there was goodwill between the fans.
Right, and it was so nice for a minute, wasn't it? And he was a
It was. And then he comes in one night and he decides that he's not going to have that because he can't have fans that hate this era talking to fans that like this era and there's all getting on.
Right, exactly.
Right? So he had to come in with a wrecking ball, and that's exactly what he did. And for that reason, look, even when he did that, I was actually on the verge anyway. But just during this live stream talking about him and all, I'm just done. He has just he is. Do you know what? He is just one sad, vile little man. He just couldn't let us have this tweet along, and he just had to go and ruin it. He had to ruin it. He has tainted it now. It was so good. 2 weeks ago was the highlight on this.
It really was, wasn't it? It was so much fun.
Me, Rabbi, and was it just me and you, wasn't it?
There was so much going on.
And it was so much. Yeah.
John Barrowman going crazy. That was so much fun.
And look what he's done in 2 weeks.
Wow. And that was like in space of a week. He killed it. I wonder if they're going to get less traction now. They're going to get less trending.
I hope so.
I guess he must do. I mean, you alienate people, don't you?
That's what. Listen, he has to learn a lesson here. So I hope the fans.
You know, he's not going to learn a lesson until he doesn't make any money from these comic deals that he's talking about. Oh my God, it's so sad. It was so sad. He was saying he's got nothing. He's that announcement was basically saying, "I've got nothing, absolutely nothing. Please, Christian, don't give me a joke because I got nothing." I guarantee you, those things he's those deals he signed, he's getting no money down, and he's probably going to get no. He probably has to produce the artwork himself.
Yeah,
he's probably got to pay for production. They'll pay for printing and soliciting and printing.
Yeah. So just to make it clear,
with selling an indie book in this environment where there's a lot, they've lost at least 20-30% of the stores.
Yeah.
Even if it's a successful book and it makes they sell over 6,000 copies. Even if they do that, he's still not making anything.
Yeah.
The only really viable way to make comics right now is to build up an audience on YouTube, have a channel, and then do your Indiegogos 2 or 3 times a year. And you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the reason that he wouldn't be able to do that, and all these SJWs can't do it because they can't tell you that. They can't tell you about it right. They're going to be like, oh, I kind of did the thing, and they'll be really embarrassed about it, and it'll be like Hugh Grant, but they really. What makes you want to buy something is somebody saying this is the greatest thing ever, and they really mean it, and you got to have this. It's so freaking good, and here's the thing. I don't think he can do something like that. I don't think he can do something that he really believes in and really has that passion because he's dead inside. Look at him. Look what he's doing. Look how he poured himself out for nothing.
You know,
for nothing.
I know. That's the sad thing. All of this is for nothing. It's for nothing. The fandom for nothing. For what? For what? You know what? Do you know what the biggest joke about this whole situation is, folks? And I'll tell you the most ironic thing as well is that all these little gobshites for 2 years have been talking about it being inclusive for all fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As they go out.
Cornell down with that text message that we all seen. I showed on this, or the tweet I showed on this channel. Me and Rabbi covered Paul Cornell already, and I showed you that tweet where he said it was for all the creators, all fans. He wanted this to be inclusive, right? Then you seen the poster at the start of Series 12, Space for All, because BBC and the production team knew quite well that this show wasn't for everybody, but had to make the point of making sure that we knew it actually was when it actually wasn't. That's the ironic thing about this whole situation, is that it is inclusive, yeah. If you're mid-20s and younger, and you're from a certain demographic, and that's what it's inclusive for. It's not for us older fans anymore. And some will argue that it hasn't been for years. I disagree. I have to say Moffat's era is flawed, but it was definitely aimed at everybody, and I mean everybody. There was none of this bullshit running
Yeah.
through them. Rainbow Warriors saying that certain demographics had to be bleeding represented when they already were. If you look through Doctor Who's history, it's all quite laughable. Every single argument that side has made for 2 years, right, has been total and utter lies and bullshit. And these people are responsible for everything that I just mentioned. And by the way, I have to say, I will say one thing. It just sums up Chris Chibnall's era when you've got two of the most talking points of Series 12, where the fact that the Doctor didn't handle the whole scene with Graham when he was concerned about his cancer, and the second scene, which I think is controversial, but nobody's really talking about, and I wish more people would. Maybe that'd be the only focus that I give this, is the fact that the foundation of the Time Lords is founded on the fact that a child was experimented on multiple times. That is disgusting. This is what Chris Chibnall has created, and this is what these little shills and Paul Cornell defends and protects. And you know what? They're all insane. They're all vile.
Somebody in my on one of my comments said that they don't understand why David Tennant and is there as the Time Lord victorious, because he's not a Time Lord anymore, is he? None of them are Time Lords.
No, they're not. And they keep calling William Hartnell's Doctor the First Doctor, and I actually wrote up on it, but he isn't, though, is he?
All right.
He's a little black girl, according to Chris Chibnall. So make up your mind. It's either William Hartnell or a little girl. Which is it?
Oh, don't be so rigid, man. Don't be so binary rigid. Maybe he's a little girl sometimes. Maybe he's a old white man sometimes. Don't be so. It's all fluid, baby. It's all fluid. They're gonna go there. I'm telling you, they're gonna go there.
Yeah, well, they can go there all they want. I don't care. All I'll say is that well done. You've won the show. You've got the fandom. You've won the fandom. It's not much of a fandom anyway. It's not a fandom anymore. The fans have actually walked away. What's left is just the vile pus that comes out of the saw. That's what's left.
I'm intrigued to see how the Time Lord Victoria stuff does now, because I'm really sensing a real cooling of excitement. Yeah, because wow, I tell you, it doesn't take much to get one to really derail something.
Yeah. So listen, we will be doing Classic Who. So on Friday we're going to do a classic watch along. Me and Rabbi, obviously, after the stream is finished, we'll have a little short discussion and we'll choose a story.
I can't do it on Friday, remember?
Oh, no, Friday, I forgot. We'll do it tomorrow, Thursday.
Right. Oh, that's what we did was fun.
Listen, what I'll do is I'll do it tomorrow, but I'm taking Friday off if you guys don't mind, so I can spend a bit of time with Cheryl, right?
Do you want to do it tomorrow during the Dalek one? We can choose a different one.
Oh, they've got their watch along. I don't really care. They'll all all the guys that are here tonight will come watch ours. So
we could do Destiny of the Daleks. That'd be fun.
Okay.
I haven't seen that for a while.
Okay.
And I like it's like early. We got the Mavellans in it. Oh, I like the Mavellans. I haven't seen them for a while either.
Right.
I love showing up in that in the cameo of. What was it, the pilot, the season 10 of Doctor, when he was going with on his first trip with Bill Potts, right, when he was trying to escape the water girl thing.
Right, we'll do Destiny. Right.
All right.
No, we'll do Destiny on Friday, right? But listen, I'm not covering Series 12. I'll tell you what, this is what's going to happen. When Doctor Who gets back to a state where we're all happy with it, right? When Chris Chibnall is gone, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, listen, this is the promise I make, because I think this is the fairest promise. Right? When Chris Chibnall is gone, and then the new showrunner is announced, then I will start back up again and talk about it, because obviously there will be details, new things we'll have to see and see if we like what we're hearing, right? So I'll do that, but I'm not covering while Chris Chibnall is in charge of Doctor Who. I no longer want to cover anything, and that includes the tweet alongs. I don't want to do the tweet alongs anymore either. I said it from the beginning, but I always had a feeling that we shouldn't have supported these in the first place. But I can understand why we all did to a certain extent, because 2 weeks ago was magical. And you know what? I will say this, and it kind of making me well up a little bit. But isn't it at least we got that one little.
It was nice, you know. I was just thinking exactly the same thing. It was nice.
2 weeks ago, we got a little glimpse again of what the magic of Doctor Who was all about.
Right.
So
I mean, listen, I think if there's
I'm not letting Paul Cornell take 2 weeks ago away from me. He can take the show. He's not taking that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because we had a great time, and you know what? I don't think this is what I think we should do as well. If there's another one, like a tweet along with Russell T Davies or maybe Moffat, no, I don't know Moffat, maybe, but Russell T Davies, I don't think we should, or anybody we really, really like. Okay, I don't think we should close ourselves off, right? I mean, if there's one that there was one that we particularly like. If there's not, there's not.
This is what they've done. Yeah, sorry guys, But this he's not taking that. He's not taking those 2 weeks ago away from me. No way, because it's sad. It's sad to say, but that's the best the fandom has been in 2 years, and that lunatic comes in with his wrecking ball and decides to destroy it all because he didn't want us all getting on. Because I think we were getting somewhere. I honestly I believe that we were actually on the verge. I really do. I thought we were actually, for once, we actually did. Fan power was getting the better of the BBC, and then this lunatic comes in, and that's it. It's done.
No. Can I tell you something that will hopefully give you some solace? This is a bit, and this is like my crazy religiousness, which is like a touchstone where I go to in times of need, such as this. So you know the what we already want is for Doctor Who. I think is a redemption. We feel that Doctor Who is occupied by evil forces, and we want it redeemed and brought back to its former glory, where it wasn't forcing us away, and it was lovely again. That's what we want. So if you look at the story of redemption from was it the Exodus? Yeah, the story of Exodus. You know, that redemption of like the 10 plagues and everything. That didn't redemption doesn't happen overnight. Redemption happens in waves. You go forward a bit and then you go back a bit. And you go forward a bit and you go back a bit. So we've gone forward a bit and now we've gone back a bit. But I have absolute confidence we're going to go forward again as well. It's like a wave. It's like a tide coming in. You know, we go forward, then it goes back a bit. We've gone forward, now we've gone back. And I think we'll go forward again. I really do.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's not too long because, you know, I do miss the show.
Right.
I think that's very evident. I mean, it's been 2 years since I've had Doctor Who. Well, it's been 3 because, you know, Chris took a whole year before he decided that he was going to do anything. I mean, this is another thing. We've had 2 series in 3 years, and now with this disaster that's happening, it'll probably be 3 series in 5 years if there is a delay, and that's a possibility. Now, I'm saying it's a possibility. It mightn't happen, and we might get Doctor Who Series 13 slightly delayed, but it'll be put out. But I just can't do another series. I really can't. I can't.
You know what? No. I totally hear that and respect that. I really, really do. You know, it's like There's only so much any human being can do, and it's
Like
yeah.
the one good thing is
very
the fact that you're sending me, you send me the animations, the classic animations. That's, as I said, if it hasn't been for certain YouTubers, I was done. I would have got to this point a long time ago. But I want to thank yourself and Walsh and Gary and everybody else that does Doctor Who videos, because listening to you guys, I'm not out there on my own, and I know I'm not credit. You know what? I knew when Jodie Whittaker was cat, and you know what? I remember the night before, and I said it on the channel. I said Jodie Whittaker is going to be cast as the Doctor. Wait, you see.
Oh, I know.
Because the teaser trailer gave it away. I knew it was a woman, and I heard that Jodie Whittaker's name had been mentioned weeks beforehand, and it was quite funny that they were talking about, leading up to it, they kept talking about your man from Death in Paradise, and I thought, he's not getting it. This is all a smoke screen, Jodie Whittaker. So I put it up on Facebook, and I wrote, I put up a picture, and it says, "Congratulations, BBC, you finally done it, you idiots. Jodie Whittaker cast as the new Doctor." People thought I was crazy, but there was a huge channel out there later on that I'd seen a couple, and they had actually broke it all down as well, the teaser trailer, like myself, and they had figured out it was Jodie Whittaker. I know what the big giveaway was, actually, that was Jodie Whittaker, and I don't know how fans didn't realise at the time, was that the clips that were in Broadchurch, the very same clips that they used in Broadchurch, Chibnall filmed for a part of the teaser trailer. When I see Downing Street,
she was in a forest.
Yeah, but before that, there was another one where it shows you 10 Downing Street. It shows you, it's all female-led things, and then they show you this cliff of Broadchurch, the beach, just the beach with the cliff. And I'm like, they're casting Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor.
I don't remember that at all. But
Yeah. I had a sus the night before. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't YouTubers, because I wasn't doing those sort of videos on YouTube. So for all, I did come across, as I said later on, a couple that were doing, that had their YouTube channel, and they had actually done what I done and broke down the teaser trailer. I actually wrote it up on Facebook the night before. Jodie Whittaker is the new Doctor playing Doctor Who, and everybody thought it was crazy. And then obviously then you see her walking through the forest, and then she takes down the hat, and we see it's Jodie Whittaker, and then it was game over. It was game over that day. It was just a lot of people kind of knew, but they.
But yeah, again,
I'm not ashamed to say I've hung on for 2 years, and I'm not ashamed to say that I'm finally bowing out of this fandom. Not out of the fandom, but out of this current era, because no, we deserve better. BBC haven't respected us. And then when you have an idiot like Paul Cornell just come in and ruin all the goodwill, which that's exactly what he did. He ruined something magical. He just didn't just talking together. And you know what's happened? People have sided with Paul Cornell, obviously, and some people haven't. But what has he done? He's fractured the fandom again.
He's split the fandom once again.
He's fractured the fandom again.
Right.
Listen, this was probably all designed, build up the goodwill. Right, Cornell, are you ready to do your part? Yes, boss. Don't worry, we'll look after you. Go in there and piss them all off now. And that's what I read. And you know what? That might sound far-fetched to some of you, but I can tell you that is probably the way it went down. I wouldn't put it past the BBC one iota. Seriously, they didn't like us getting cozy with the other side, because there was a lot of fans. Because think about it, even on the other side starting to question certain things then, because everybody had time to think.
Right. Like, if these are racist and sexist, why do they like black women? Yeah, that sort of thing. Like, wait, with it maybe a narrative. But again, look, Joe, no, I have to tell you, it's good. It's right now. Let's just focus on stuff we enjoy. And I think in the end it's going to be okay. I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be we're on a trajectory where there's something going to happen.
Yeah, we've got our guest should be joining us in 5 minutes. Then we've got a half an hour to go. Can you hang on for another half hour? Do you
Maybe, maybe I'll like stay for the first few minutes, and I'll like bow out when.
No problem, because he has a few things to say about Paul Cornell as well. It'll probably be an interesting take anyway. So
yeah, I think it's honestly, I just think it's taking up too much space right now, and like I think we move on. By the way, though, if you want a great FU to Paul Cornell, go to my my review of his book Human Nature, because in the video notes there is a link to a PDF where you can download the whole book from, so you don't have to buy a copy. Which I have no idea how it got there or why the link's there, but it's got the Daryl Joyce illustrations, which are really good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I want to ask you, Genesis? No, was it Destiny of the Daleks? That's one that they did updated special effects on. I will upload it to my Google Drive for us.
Yeah, send me the updated effects one. Yeah, and it's actually handier that I watch it on the Google Drive, because it means I can watch it on my phone while I'm doing. Because for some weird reason, yeah, I don't know if it is actually even possible, but I'd love to be able to watch it on my laptop, being on a StreamYard at the same time. But unfortunately, the sound comes through. So yeah, and then it means I'd have to mute the sound right on StreamYard, but then I'd have to actually pause it if I wanted to make a point, because you would actually hear.
Yeah, that'd be right.
So I do watch them on my phone. It's a lot handier that way. So I have the earphones in, and then I'm able to talk to you guys as well. So yeah, do that. That's what I've been doing them on, and it's brilliant. But yeah, we'll do all the classic Who. We'll do everything. Yeah. And you know what? Up to a certain point as well, there's certain new Who that I do like, right? There's certain episodes, but I'm certainly not gonna give any more oxygen to those lunatics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, you know what? Let's just wait. Yeah, this is one of the things when I'm going to say, let's just wait and see what happens ultimately, because I think, when people were going on during these elections, like Brexit or Trump or the general election in last year. I kept saying, let's just wait until we'll see what the results are. People say, this is going to happen. Let's just wait until see what happens when the results are in. I think they're going to be a bit interesting.
Yeah. And we've got our last and final guest on tonight, joining us for the last part of this stream. It's the Gorminator. It's been a long time since we've heard from you, but obviously with the global crisis, you've been very busy. How busy are you? How's things anyway? And how are you doing? How's the family?
Everybody's all right, mate. Everybody's all right, but yeah, we're just doing the same as everybody else. Just try to avoid, all this nonsense that's going on just now. Keeping our heads down. So, yeah, doing okay. Thank God we've got guys like yourself that have got the YouTube channels to keep us all entertained while shit's going down.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad everybody is doing well, and you are, pal. Oh, yeah, just an update, actually, because we were worried about Chris Persia. Right, well, I texted his name in on Facebook, and his account came up, and I had a look, and he hasn't posted since the very same time that he hasn't posted on Twitter. But it said he was married, so I checked his wife's profile. It might sound a bit weird, but in fairness, we are worried about him. That his recent posts up. So I think what's basically happened is that Chris Persia, which I don't blame him, thinks that this is all bullshit and would rather spend the quality time with his family. And you know what? Don't blame him.
Maybe he just wants to take a break for a bit.
That's it. So he seems to be okay, guys, is what I'm trying to say. So that's a weight off me mind, to be quite honest with you, because we were getting a bit worried about him. So it looks like he's fine. He's just offline because, family is at the end of the day more important. You know what I mean? I'm lucky I have no kids. He has kids, so he wants to spend as much time as he can with the kids and all that, and do whatever. He's a carer as well, so I'm glad he's all right anyway. So if anybody wants to pass on to other YouTubers that were worried, you could pass it on, let them know. Right, Garminator, obviously Paul Cornell has been, I don't know how much of the stream you've actually heard, but Paul Cornell, I know you have some thoughts of your own on the whole situation. So go ahead, mate.
Well, the thing is, for me, he's a brilliant writer. Some of his stuff has been some of the best stuff in New Who. His novels are fantastic, but he's behaved like a complete and utter arse. There's absolutely no need for it, and you know, for somebody of his stature, you know, in fandom, to be as borderline hostile towards people that aren't on board with the new era is absolutely, you know, mind-boggling to me, considering this guy was there during the wilderness years. You know, he knows what it's like not to have hope.
Ross, say again?
So I don't think it was borderline. I think it was actually hostile.
Yeah, no, you're right, Rabbi. It was completely hostile, and I don't see why he thought that was on, because he was there when the show wasn't in there in the 90s.
Yeah.
He knows what it's like not to have Doctor Who, and he knows what it's like not to have good Doctor Who. So why he would be sitting, obviously, to get himself work, but why he'd be sitting there, you know, passively aggressively blocking people, posting inflammatory things that are clearly designed to get a rise out of it. I've got no idea.
You know what he misses from the 90s? What he really misses? He misses being important. That's what he misses.
Yeah.
And that's what this all is for. That's what he's willing to sell his soul for, so he can be important again.
But here's the thing, Rabbi. If he wanted to be important, he's written 3 fantastic episodes of New Who. Shut your mouth, Paul Cornell. Get and actually contribute some great scripts to the TV show. Call out the bullshit that's happening on air just now and the shit that's going on behind the scenes. Get involved in New Who proper. Put something on screen that's worthwhile, and then it'd be important. It'll be far more important doing that than he is behaving like this.
Well said. Well said. Well, absolutely well said. Exactly. You know what I mean? He could, and I said it the other day, and I'll say it again. It's time for these former showrunners or writers. The time to be on the fence or play both sides of the fandom is finished now. It's done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they got the interview with each other coming out in Doctor Who magazine tomorrow, and I'm waiting to see what comes out in Doctor Who magazine tomorrow in general.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Actually, that's this magazine. I'm not a fan of actually buying this magazine normally. If I can get my hands on it, which is going to be very hard, obviously now, because I wouldn't pay for an online subscription, to be quite honest with you. But I do know there's a few shops in the city centre that do it. So if I come across it, I'll get it, because I do actually want to read.
No, I might have a login to an account that you could.
All right. I'll say no. Yeah, say no more. Right, sorted. But we'll analyze and break that down, because I want to hear what they say. But RTD does say to to Stephen Moffat, admit it, you are winging it the whole time. So I didn't read the response to that, but it'll be interesting, because a lot of fans have said, was Stephen Moffat winging it? No. I mean, you could clearly see in some of the seasons there was some sort of story arc. I don't think he'd go right. With Stephen Moffat, we've always said he'd start off great. The middle would be, it'd be all right. It wouldn't be great. But the ending would be the disappointing, right? There'd just be either too many loose threads or there wouldn't be enough sewn up, right? That's Stephen Moffat's era, and it never quite resolved all the plot threads and shit. That's the problem. And then the writing near the end, then obviously then when BBC start ramming up the political and agenda, then you're seeing his writing suffer. And he has taken pops at BBC in the past when he's felt that they've been unfair to him. So what I would say to him now, listen, this is all about integrity here, right? Moffat claims that he loves the show, and I no doubt believe that he loves the show. You can tell. The same, right? Not slagging these men. You can tell these men love Doctor Who, but there's no way that these men love the current iteration. We have seen it. They've both came out with sly little digs at Chibnall, and then have kind of backtracked a bit then by coming out and actually supporting.
No, I don't.
I'm sorry though, but hold on, because a lot of people keep saying, but they can't say it because of the.
No, I wasn't saying that. No, I wasn't going to say that at all. I was going to say that I don't think it's in dispute with anybody that this era of Doctor Who.
Right, come out and say something then. That's my point. Just come out and say something. The fans would get behind these two men. We'd get behind them. They wouldn't lose a bloody job. We'd insist that they're actually in if they Doctor Who, we'd make sure that happens. Okay, you want Doctor Who, you have our blessing. What do we need to do to get you two guys back installed into Doctor Who? We would do it.
If when there is a Doctor Who season 13, I'll be let's see what's going to happen. I have a feeling that it might be nothing we can possibly are even thinking about right now.
It wouldn't surprise me if season 13 was a short season.
I mean, look, again, the least embarrassing option is admitting defeat and changing course. That's the least embarrassing option. Far more embarrassing is to go ahead and do this and to have it become completely irrelevant and die in front of them. And, you know, they will never live it down.
No,
I know
agreed.
I know none of them have the balls to say it out, but they do have the balls to play both sides, and I think that's the point I'm only trying to make here. I don't believe that this is the right time to be playing both sides. You can't sit on the fence on this one. I'm sorry. The Doctor Who was damaged too much for people to be playing sides. These people love Doctor Who, so come out and do something about it. Yeah, okay, you've written short stories. That's all fantastic. But why not go that one step further and actually take, you are responsible for Chibnall taking the job anyway. You've got him drunk. So it's your mess to fix. And this is why I keep saying that RTD and Moffat should get the job. Because in fairness, those two were responsible for him getting the job in the first place. So it's their problem. It's their problem to fix.
Well, that you have highlighted is 100% correct. That's the exact millisecond where Moffat went wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Let's kill Hitler.
Yeah. Good eye, sir.
Yeah, that's where it did go wrong. You're right. And that's why I put that up there, because I agree. I still to this day have not been able to watch that more than the time that it aired. I have not watched
it was grim.
Let's kill Hitler again. So I do know that River Song has a whole stupid scene in it that's just ridiculous. That I just cringed, and the only good thing I remember enjoyed about it was the fact that Hitler got punched in the face. Other than that's the only thing that I can remember.
The best Hitler in recent English science fiction was the Hitler in Red Wolf. That was it 2 years ago? I think it's probably the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Did you ever see that? That's very funny.
I've not seen it. Is it worthwhile watching?
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was not the last one. It was the one. I think not the last season. It was the episode called Cured.
Okay, I'm going to go and dig that out as soon as we're done here. But getting back to Paul Cornell, one of the really interesting things is he put a tweet out saying, "This is my Doctor Who," in reference to season 12. This is what he'd always wanted. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul Cornell, I've read your books and I've watched your previous episodes. They are nothing like this iteration of Doctor Who.
Carston's not. He's shilling out Garminator. He's looking for a job, and that's what makes this even worse. Because we know by looking at his work that he actually is a decent writer. I do like Human Nature, Family of Blood as a story. He blocked me the Night of the Timeless Child when he actually asked the fans. And you know what? Again, I will say this now. I honestly do believe that when he put that tweet up that time and asked fans what they felt about the Timeless Children, anybody that commented the negative was blocked that night. That tweet was baited. It was designed to see who's on board and who isn't. And anybody that had anything slightly negative to say about the series or the Timeless Children in particular was blocked. He's been for years as well, by the way. I've dealt with back in 2009 and 2010 where he was blocking people. Same thing. Paul Cornell has a previous of this. So I think 2009, 2010, was he actually looking for work that time as well?
Well, no, you know what? No, I just had a revelation what he's actually doing. I think I just worked it out. The timing of this announcement for his indie comics is indicative. What he's doing is comic books is very, very tribal right now. Essentially, it's broken into two groups. You got the social justice warrior group. That's got control of mainstream comics, and then you got like the Comicscape group, which is rebels. So the mainstream comics, they're in total disarray because they got destroyed overnight. They were the first casualty of the global pandemic, right? So and so what he was doing, he was virtue signaling to his peer group, which is the social justice warrior group, and that's what he was doing, because he knows he's got these comics coming out, thinking that is going to propel his sales. What he doesn't realize is going to do the exact opposite, because they don't buy comics. That's what I said before. They don't buy comics. And if his comics ever make it to market, which I doubt they're going to, but if they do, I doubt they're going to get past issue 3. And if they do, I doubt he's going to make any money from it.
Rob, I totally agree with you there, mate. I mean, I'm a massive comic fan, and the comic market just now is as bad as I have seen in over 30 years.
Yeah. So when he's signed deals in this market, he's full of crap. He's signed deals, he's not getting any money down. He probably has to produce the artwork himself.
Creator owned means it's all on him.
Yeah,
that's what it means.
Yeah, it means that we will publish your stuff maybe if you give it to us fully done.
And let's be honest, with most of these creator-owned comics, unless you're somebody really good like, Bendis and Alex Maleev or Brubaker and Sean Phillips, at best what you're going to get is you're going to get a crap movie deal from it.
Well, that's what they're all. That's the trouble with comics. They don't make comics for comics. They make comics to make a crappy Netflix deal.
Don't start me on that. It's
also on was it Mags Visaggio? She's like taken over comics, and her goal was to get a TV deal. She got a TV deal. She crowed about it, and it got cancelled after 3 episodes. Vagrant Queen, and now she's been falling out with her agent. But the agent got her everything, so she's on the trash heap. She got exactly what she wanted, and now she's on the trash heap. Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's years ago. I remember when you started getting the TV writers coming into comics, and the old pros at the time were up in arms about it, saying, "No, if you come into our pool, you need to play by our rules." It's like, you know what, guys? No, because the fellas that have got the TV deals that work in television, all they need to do is write one issue or something, and they'll get their mates in television to offer them a deal. All they're doing is using comics as a way to promote their own work. They wouldn't get a show in otherwise. So what comics have got to do is concentrate and be better at being comics, not worrying about getting a television or a movie or a Netflix thing or any other bullshit. Be a good comic first and foremost. I mean, look, for example, Jason Aaron, Scalped. Brilliant comic, great crime comic. They made a pilot episode of the TV show. It bombed. Now you can't buy Scalp for love nor money in trade paperback form. What is that all about?
Ron, just had to be sent something. Time Lord Victorious. But why is this being sent to me? Because there's something. Hold on. The story, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Everything that I know so far. But what's the controversy? Oh, the strands of it, blah, blah, blah. I don't see any of what the controversy is supposed to be. Hold on. Is that a clickbait article? Hold on. I don't like clickbait articles. Like, you know, it's ridiculous. And again, you know, you're gonna start making up shit about Doctor Who.
There's enough shit with Doctor Who happening just now about clickbait nonsense adding on to it.
All right, BBC. No, okay, it's not. It's just the headline is wrong. Okay, it's all right. No new news. Thought there was new news there. No new news. But you know, Time Lord Victorious. Who gives a shit anyway? We'll see what happens with it anyway. I don't think it's going to make money anyway. I think all the goodwill. I think Paul Cornell has made sure that all the goodwill
Really has.
And you know what? I would tell people, you know, I know Rabbi will buy it because Rabbi has to have it, and I understand that. But if anybody else was thinking of getting it and now has doubts, you know, don't buy it. I wouldn't support it now because it's going into the BBC coffers. Remember that. And your boy goes into the BBC coffers.
Although,
right?
actually, you know what just came out, which was really good. I can recommend, happily recommend. So the classic Doctor Who, they did Susan's War. So it's Susan woman in the Time War. Really good, really, really good.
Yeah, I heard about that actually, and I actually mentioned it on the chat because Carol Ann Ford actually thanked everybody for the great feedback. So they seem to be delighted with it anyway. Yeah, I mean, look, when it comes to stuff like Classic Who, I'd be more than happy to promote Classic Who. But as I said, after tonight's stream, I'm not giving this era of Doctor Who anymore. Breeding room. I'm done. I'll do classic reviews. I'll bring on guests like Dominator Rabbi, and we'll do classic watch-alongs, and we'll remember Doctor Who the way it should be remembered. As a great show was that entertained, but not only entertained us, but sometimes kept us at the edge of our seat with great dialogue, great supporting cast. You know what I mean? The sets might have been all wobbly and all that, but who cares? The writing, this is what I've always said, and I bring this back to the very first time we seen the very first episode of this new era, and I said it at the time, right? The writing is going to kill this show, right? And that is the only thing that has been holding this show back in the last few years. Even under Moffat, his writing had become stale. I'd actually think he'd admit it himself at this stage. He had burnt out like most people do when they've been writing a show for that long, and he was writing other stuff as well, kind of overextending himself a bit. You can forgive that because that happens, right? But Chris Chibnall was supposed to be the savior of Doctor Who. This was the guy that was supposed to elevate the show to the next level. And then his doctor was supposed to elevate the show to the next level. And we've seen what that did anyway, right? But even with that said, right, forget about the glass ceiling, bleeding teaser and all that cringe bollocks, right? The writing. We all concentrated on the writing. Chris Chibnall, in 2 years of Doctor Who, including that little short story that he written, it was written by a 7-year-old, has proven that he can't write for this show. The only problem that there's ever been with Doctor Who in the past few years has been the writing. That's all that's ever been wrong. It didn't need to gender swap the role. You didn't need to bring in all of this bloody preachy nonsense. There's a way of doing it, and some shows get it right, like The Orville, and some shows like Doctor Who get it absolutely wrong. You haven't listened to the fans, and this is the result. Do you know what? I don't really care anymore. Do you know, if the show was to be cancelled tomorrow, it'd be the best thing. Do you know what? I'd celebrate that. I'd actually celebrate that, because I'll tell you why. For a few years, to go off for a few years, so all this crap that's happening in society blows over. Bring the show back and see, then can you write something decent and win us all back? And if you do, and the writing is good and it's up to the standard, there's none of this crappy preachiness about climate change when you fly all over the world anyway, then you warn us about the dangers of the plastic, but yet most of our merchandise is made out of plastic. Like, in a way, these are hypocrites. Yeah, you don't practice what you preach. And the big one for me, and I'll keep saying, is the fact that you want me to accept that the foundation of the Time Lords is based on the multiple murder and experimentation of a child. No, I'm sorry, I'm not a sick-minded fool.
But
And
you know
that,
what? No,
and I reject
they
that.
did something worse than that.
What?
They did something far worse than that in the show. Because all that's nonsense and that bullshit with the Time Lords, it's a fictional thing, yeah? They took a very real world thing such as cancer and they mocked it.
I know.
They spat on it, they threw it in the bin and went, "Oh, I'm socially awkward, me." No,
Yeah.
you don't do that. You do not do that. And that's where they lost me. I thought that was far worse than anything they've done.
No, I agree with
Black
you.
Elan's
That's the thing that made all of the fandom on both sides
sick.
react
Utterly
with
sick.
disgust. And there was some that defended it. Of course, there is the shills, the normal ones that you expect to defend it, defended it. But you cannot defend that. I'm sorry, you see Vincent in the Doctor, right? Even as far back as the Macra Terror, right? There's a scene, as I keep bringing up, where he's walking down the corridor with Zoe and they're going towards the Macra and she's scared and he holds her hand. He reassures her because when the Doctor, see, this is the whole point of the Doctor and these idiots don't care. When the Doctor is needed, when he's truly needed to step up, he's always there. He's always there. This is the first time in Doctor Who history that I've ever seen a Doctor behave like that towards a companion when a companion is not. And by the way, might I add that a lot of my family has been ravaged and passed away from cancer, and we've had cancer survivors. And I know most people in this fandom and some people on this panel, I think, have actually had family members.
It was extremely tough.
Exactly, right? So this is not, we see both sides, right? We see what puts families through, and then we see them battling the disease. For her Doctor to do that, there is no defense. No defense for that. But of course, they'll defend it because Jodie Whittaker can do no wrong. And again, even though I didn't read Paul Cornell's little story about the little girl in the mirror who who just so happened to be a murderer, but the big bad male doctor put her there, made sure that she stayed there. But St. Jodie came along and says, "It's okay. The big bad man's not here anymore."
Okay. No. I beg you.
I'm here to save you. Here you go. Go now on your murderous fucking spree.
No,
there's consequences to me actions, but I'm dealing with them. What?
I'm begging you, before tomorrow, read that story I wrote. You're going to love it. You are going to
your story. I'll read your story. I'm not reading that from that idiot.
Reading my one will make you feel so much better.
I'll read yours. I'll read that you write. I would read anything that you write. I am not reading anything that idiot writes. Actually, I'd even encourage you to go as far as to say, you've done comics before. Why don't you actually write a Doctor Who comic for the fans?
Well, I did the Ice Warriors strip, but I like to do stuff that I would own. Although, you know, if you go,
I get what you're saying. But
if you go to my website, there's a comic book I did called The Imperium, which essentially has James Bond, Emma Peel from the Avengers, a monkey in a spacesuit, and the Black Slab from 2001, and Patrick Troughton's Doctor Who working together in a supergroup. The art was fantastic by a guy called Dominic Racho from the Philippines. Yeah. Really fantastic artwork.
Brilliant.
Well, you had me at a monkey in a spacesuit. You know,
there for free.
Well, listen, look. At the end of the day, there are people. Even the fact that I've mentioned it, people would love you to do it. But I can understand it. I can understand. Yeah, look at. Yeah, you wouldn't want them bastards BBC to get their hands on it if it ended up. See, because this is the thing. Rabbi could probably. No, not probably. Rabbi would actually write a decent Doctor Who comic, but you see, you can't have that because they don't write good shit anymore. Have you not? It's not just look at the comic book industry, right? And it's been brought up. It's in a state. But when you're releasing comic books like Gotham High, and then you have comic books that the New Warriors with characters called Snowflake.
Oh, don't.
See it.
You know, these people are supposed to care. These writers, they say they care, and they come out and attack fans on Twitter because they say they're not being treated fairly. Well, I'm sorry. if you're going to write comic books like that, right, when the comic book industry is on its knees, right, and is probably, well, this is going to change the comic book industry forever anyway. It's going to have to restructure, and hopefully in some form it can survive. But its current form is dead, right? And yous idiots had a chance to at least buy it some time, or at least, you know, few years anyway, until you got your act together, you know what I mean? All you needed to do was make a decent couple of comic books, right? With none of your propaganda bullshit in it. Just straight out entertaining comics. But you can't do that because you are not about entertaining anymore. You are about preaching to your audience, lecturing your audience, telling your audience that they're bad people. I mean,
telling them what to think.
Remember, guys, in Series 11, we were told as men, especially because we're white men, remember that we were bad bastards. We were, if we were single fathers, we weren't great single fathers. We were actually irresponsible. We were basically told that we were pieces of shit. Now, if you were a young lad watching that, you'd be like, wow, do I really need to monitor? Am I a piece of shit? See, this is what they don't understand. Now, for Series 12, they got the balance a little bit right. They actually shit on women as well as they shit on men, right? And actually, they proved that they're not just going to pick on the old white man. They'll pick on poor Lenny Henry as well. You know what I mean? Just to prove their point. Well, listen, you know, you accused us of being racist. Now we're going to prove that we're not racist because we're going to give out to a black man on Doctor Who. Like, you know what I mean? But you're still giving out about a male. It doesn't matter what the skin color are. You're telling blokes out there that watch a show that they're pieces of shit.
Yep.
Right, and I'm done. As I said, this is the last stream on Series 12. We are concentrating on Classic Who from now on. I am not covering any news. I don't care about Time Lord Victorious. I really don't. I don't care about the tweet-alongs. Don't know about them. We'll do Classic Who, and then the other videos and other streams that I'll be doing will be on just what other shows that I like and other topics as well. Whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever you think I should bring up, I let you guys have a little bit more control on the channel. If you want any subject covered on this channel, let me know and I'll do it. But I'm not covering Chris Chibnall's era. I'm not actually watching the Christmas special. I'm not watching Series 13. I'm not even going to cover the source information. None.
Can you remember when Stephen Moffat, when Mark Gatiss put out an episode written by an openly gay man with the first transgender cast member in British TV that had a multi-gender, multiracial cast, and it didn't put its hand up for pats in the back. It just put an episode out, Sleep No More. Now, it get vilified for the quality of the episode, but there was none of this, look at us, we're all inclusive, we are. They just went ahead and did a Doctor Who story.
I know.
And it was everything these Muppets are screaming for.
Yeah. I've been looking into the whole retro gaming thing, Michael. I know you've asked a few times. I have got me Mario. I was playing Mario 3 last night. Now, I don't know what YouTube's policy is, though, because gaming streams are very tricky, you see. You have to make sure that Nintendo allow basically for people to stream Mario on YouTube. Now, some might do it, but that's because they've probably been given permission. This is what happens with a lot of these. I only found out only recently how it works. A lot of these channels that do the watch-alongs are given permission. So when you see all these certain YouTubers doing it, it's because they're given permission. But there is a way of doing watch-alongs, but there's a lot of editing involved. And you know me, I'm as thick as two planks. I wouldn't be able to bleed and put one together, man, to be honest with you. I'd have to do them live, and there's no way of doing them live. So I don't know if I can get away with the Mario one. If Nintendo allow it, let me know, Michael. Rabbi, before you go, actually, because we're finishing up now, have you got anything up and coming on the channel?
Well, new Doctor Who magazine is coming out tomorrow, which means not that you're going to want to hear about it. There's going to be a new Chris Chibnall column which I will be reading and roasting on my channel, no doubt. I always look forward to it. He does give me wonderful content. I can't deny that. I think I might do a video reading out my short story because I'm really into it, and it just really does. I really want to get it out there. When we do tweet it out, can everybody make sure they retweet it? Because I really, I think people will. It's a real what's the word? Remedy for the short stories that he wrote.
I'll definitely cover the Moffat. I'll definitely cover the Moffat RTD interview because obviously that's that era. And I would be interested to see what those two lads actually what questions they ask each other. That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah. Oh, by
the other idiot. I hear these production notes anyway. I've been actually listening to people that have actually are fans of the Doctor Who magazine, and you do see them, and it's always when Chris Chibnall does something in it, there's always some sort of a complaint. I heard he's quite bored in the Doctor Who magazine as well. He comes across as quite bored, and his production notes are quite dull. Well, that's because they were written by some 70. You know what? That's because they were written by some 7-year-old. Chris Chibnall probably said to them, "Here, just make something up." Yeah. Couldn't be arsed. He couldn't be arsed. So, you know what? I'll cover the Moffat RTD thing because yes, I am interested, and I did say that from the beginning. I am interested in that interview, but I'm not going to talk about that other idiot. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, but I have to say that Bradley Walsh video did give me a bit of a smile, even though I don't blame Bradley Walsh, but his reaction was priceless. He knows it was shit. He knows it was shit. When he's looking at the beast, watch his reaction. He raises his eyebrows, but then he lets off a little snigger. He is definitely laughing. So just if anybody doesn't know what the word snigger is, it's the same as saying laughing. Just in case there's anybody out there that picked that up wrong, because
there's no.
I'm just making it clear
that you're even going to say that.
Because you have to these days. Even I've
crazy
away modified me behavior a little bit, but I'll still come out and rant at someone if I out. But still, come here. There's one thing I will do though. I'll keep an eye on everything just to see, but I won't be reporting it. But I will keep an eye because I am interested, but I'm just not interested in talking about it anymore. I don't see the point. If we're trying to send a message to the BBC, I don't think we should be even doing reviews of it.
No, I mean, just ignore it.
The show is over, right? Even if you do watch it, now why not wait till the show is over and then just do an overview? Just one stream, an overview. Because if you keep, because I came to the realization last night as well. If we review this each week, people, even the J-bots are going to be watching their channel, right? So the numbers be up all well and good, great, rolling in the cash, brilliant, right? But I don't want to do that because I'm giving BBC oxygen.
But no, like, it doesn't matter. We're not going to have to even think about this for 2 years.
No, I think it's going to be sooner.
No. They're not even starting, even in the best case scenario, which isn't happening. They're not even going to start filming till September. So I'll set that back another, 6 months at least. Well, there's a backlog. Well, because there's not going to be anything there's not going to be any.
Doctor Who will still go ahead because there's a lot of cash involved in it. They've already said, actually, BBC made that quite clear that Doctor Who won't be.
Yeah, well, again, they may want it to go ahead, but if they can't buy studio space, then they can't buy studio space. They can't
remember
to happen.
Yeah, and they can't pay for their wee jaunts overseas either.
Was that?
They can't pay for their little sunny holiday overseas like they have for the past 2 seasons. So these guys are locked down.
In South Africa, by the way. So imagine the BBC, preaching to us about the dangers of climate change. And there's those idiots on a plane to South Africa. And by the way, I heard you can't get a direct flight to South Africa, so you have to actually.
Keep in mind, everybody's borders are closed, and they're going to remain closed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and apparently there was a plan to go back to South Africa. So that would have been 3 years in a row going to South Africa. I'm sorry, BBC, you no longer are no longer entitled to preach to me anymore. I will not allow it. So therefore, I refuse to watch your crap until you change the way you do things. Chris Chibnall being fired would be a start, but I'd have to see after that, because God knows what decisions you will make after that. I mean, if it's rumored that what's her face is supposed to be taken over after Chibnall leaves as well.
The plan.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't have a problem with a female showrunner, to be honest, because you know we had Verity Lambert, and she understood the role. Be interesting if this woman came in, whether she'd start spouting her feminist ideology and putting it through Doctor Who. We've had enough of that for 2 years. Actually, I think men in general, and most women out there in general, are just pissed off with this whole crap.
Right.
Right. If those women want to have the same jobs as men, go out and have the same jobs as men. If those women want more roles in TV and movies, well, then I suggest then that you get up off his arses and he's actually make original content instead of going down the lazy route and gender swapping roles, because you think if you take a male role away, you're actually somehow making some sort of point. But you're not. You're actually weakening the movement, because you're actually covering the cracks. You are not actually making original content for these people.
Right, exactly. They're saying that they can't make a character as strong without, they have to take over other. They can't make their own cultural icons.
That's the problem. Yeah, again, but that's the problem we've always had. And you know what? They'll always take the lazy route.
Right, because they don't want to take the time to do anything, which is why.
Because you know why they won't, though, Rabbi? It's not because they don't want to. It's because they don't have the ability to.
Right, exactly.
They're not even that good at what they do. It's just they've been very lucky that people have been willing to hire them and not really ask too many questions. Just listen. We've gotten a certain agenda at this broadcasting corporation. We want you to follow a certain agenda, incorporate that into your writing. No problem. You have our full backing, even if it goes.
You know what? I don't even think they have to say it to each other. They all just know it.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. I know. I got to go to bed, mate.
I'm going to end the stream anyway, because we've gone longer than the hour and a half. We've went nearly 2 hours now. Well, listen, thanks, Rabbi, for joining me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. And I'm uploading Destiny of the Daleks now.
Destiny of the Daleks on Friday, everybody. So get your...
No, I can't do it Friday. Remember, it's either going to be
tomorrow. Keep
fine. But also in the folder is the making of documentary. You said you like those.
Yeah. Right, well, brilliant. But Thursday, tomorrow, because
tomorrow.
That's Sabbath is on Friday.
It's going to
when I say Friday, I really mean Thursday. It's just I just have Friday ingrained in my head, because I usually go live Friday. So Destiny of the Daleks tomorrow with me and Rabbi. We'll see if we can get another guest on. I might just do it with Rabbi, because I just enjoy watching with Rabbi, because me and Rabbi
we're fun.
Yeah, the banter must be great. Listen, Gorminator, I'll have to get you on again soon, because it has been a while. Actually, but we'll talk about, obviously, as I said, we'll talk about other stuff. I see you have a Batman logo there, so we want to do something on Batman and stuff. So if you want to come on sometime, because I'm
100%, 100%. Just let me know when, pal.
Rabbi, we were thinking of doing some of the animations, Batman animation movies.
Oh yeah.
Mask of the Phantasm.
So you could,
Oh yeah,
we'll talk out with you. Then we'll organise one soon, and we'll do one of them as well. But listen,
definitely, gent.
Plenty
all right,
on.
thank you very much for having me on.
No problem.
Cheers, pal.
No problem. Good night. And Rabbi, thank you very much for
joining. Good night, everybody.
Well, good night, folks. Now, listen, folks. I will be still covering Doctor Who, obviously Classic Who, right? So for any of you worried out there about the channel, you don't have to worry, right? I'm going nowhere. We will still cover Doctor Who. It'll be Classic Who. We will see when the time comes if we will all continue with the new Who watch-alongs. We haven't quite. I don't really want to at the moment. Hold on now. I was just seeing something there. Noel, did you address the whole Gallifrey base thread on your channel? Well, there's a Gallifrey base thread on my channel, or there's a Gallifrey base thread that you want me to talk about on my channel. Let me know in the chat there, and just so I know what you're actually talking about. Just let me know before we go. I don't know. Sometimes this fandom kind of annoys me how certain people get a lot of credit in this fandom talking about Doctor Who when they've only been talking about a wet day. It kind of pisses me off, really, to be quite honest with you. Oh, it's about The Last of Us. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. So one of the best games of all time in the sequel, yeah, they have a transgender character. And I shit you not, this character is supposed to be a woman, transgender woman, but still looks like a man. I mean, again, all this virtual, and there's other stuff as well, which I don't really think are appropriate to talk about on this channel. But I know other YouTubers that have been covering this whole Last of Us situation. They would have more of a grasp. I have played the game. I don't know much more than that just about the game. But there's a lot more people that know more about that than I do. But yeah, I have. There's a thread on you and your channel going after you. Well, is there any chance that you could screenshot some of this stuff and send it to me? And let me see what they're saying about me. Interesting. I'm not surprised. Listen, those idiots at Gallifrey base, they're all a bunch of little shills. I mean, if any of them even dare attempt to come after me, I'll just smash them all. Like I've smashed every single other YouTuber or any other person in this fandom that has come after me. Yeah, the difference between me and other YouTubers is that I actually don't give a flying fuck. And, it takes a lot for you to get the better of me. So, at the end of the day, that's one thing that I'll never stop, though. So I just want to make it clear, just because I've said I'm not covering Series 12 or said this era of Doctor Who anymore, doesn't mean that if someone comes after me that I'm just going to sit back and take it because I've decided to not watch the show anymore. Trust me, if someone comes after me, I will be as vicious as I always have been. And that's the end of it. Grant, do that for me. Do that for me. Be interested to see what's being said. Probably the usual, we should set up little accounts and infiltrate all these Facebook groups and his Twitter account and his YouTube channel. You don't have to infiltrate. Come in. I don't give a shit. Idiots. Idiots. But that's what we deal with all the time, isn't it? Idiots. Bunch of fools and idiots. And you know what? Seriously, Ted, me dog, is more intelligent than them all on Gallifrey base. When you have a platform like that when someone puts up a message that doesn't kind of conform to what everybody else is thinking, and you pull that thread because you don't like it, well, then you've lost all credibility as a platform. And unfortunately, that platform for a few years now has lost its credibility. According to people that were in it years ago, it was one of the best places to go for Doctor Who news, to chat about Doctor Who, and to do all your Doctor Who bits and bobs on. And it's been taken over. Gallifrey base fell. Once Gallifrey base fell, then the show, they destroy the fandom. They take down the fandom. So all these things, right? Just before I leave, actually, right? I'll just leave you with this point. This is how cynical it all was. The original Time team was replaced by a load of mid-20-year-olds that were either YouTube personalities or were popular on social media, right? Okay, they were put together by another mid-20 gobshite, right? Now, the old Time team had a mixture of all the newer fans, and that's why it worked. But as I said, they're all replaced by mid-20s. Then the job of those people was to get fans of a similar age and younger interested in Doctor Who. So they start then working on places like Gallifrey Base and all these other fan forums. And then they get enough support then their Twitter accounts and all their other social media accounts start picking up the views. And then, they start getting somewhere, and then they get shifted around. Some get moved to the Doctor Who magazine where they're given even a bigger voice. And then that's what happens. They deconstruct the fandom first, then they destroy the show, and then more than likely they move on. But these J bots are really, really militant. Even after she goes, I reckon few of them will hang on for a while to settle old scores, to be honest. And I'm pretty sure I will be a target, as I always am. Listen, I never talk about it too often on this channel anymore, but I receive death threats all the time. I receive disgusting, vile messages. It happens. The one thing that kind of baffles me is that I've had so much thrown at me for 2 years, 3 years altogether since Jodie was cast. I've had so much thrown at me, and these people still don't realise that after 3 years I still haven't left. And you think they would cop on and they would move on. But no, they don't. So I won't. If anybody comes after me, I'll still do what I always do, as I said. But it does annoy me. And I'm saying this because, and I say this with respect. There's YouTubers out there that some that I've never heard of before, and some that I have, that have never covered Doctor Who, right? And all of a sudden now they're covering Doctor Who. Now, I can understand it to a certain extent because being a YouTuber, Doctor Who right now is going through the shitter. So, there is a lot of interest on people's different opinions. But what I would say is stay in your own lane. I've been working on this for 2-3 years, and I think it's quite unfair that YouTubers come along and basically take the spotlight away from YouTubers like me, Blue Bonnet Whovian, Rabbi, and all those other channels, Matrix Lord, that have been talking about Doctor Who for a long time and the situation it's been in. Because it's unfair, because people are listening to these people, but yet these people don't even know what they're talking about. Should be listening to the YouTubers that have been covering this and that are actually fans of the shows. I've noticed that as well, and it annoys me. And one particular YouTuber actually has come after me in the past the fact that they're doing Doctor Who and they never covered Doctor Who before is just tells you all you need to know. Some are just interested in clicks, where I actually am interested in the subject that I actually talk about. Again, I want to apologize for being for getting a little upset again tonight, but that's just the passion, and I'll never change that. But Paul Cornell, and I mean, is not going to take that 2 weeks ago away from me. But he was the final nail. Well, listen, he wasn't the final nail in the coffin. The coffin was already closed. It was buried. It was dug back up again and reburied. He reburied the coffin. So it's done. The show was not fit for purpose. You're right. So Destiny of the Daleks is tomorrow. I'll put the link up when we're... listen, I always put the link up an hour before we start. Right? So when you see the link up and I share it, then you'll know. But yeah, I hope most of you do stick with me, because I'm not going to lie, because I've never been shy about this. You know, I openly talk about when I lose subscribers, and for some weird reason I am, and I think it's the fact that I have been still talking about this crap, and I think people are fed up. So as I said, this was the last stream on Chris Chibnall's era of Doctor Who. I want to thank everybody that has been with me on this journey through Chris Chibnall's era. It hasn't been, I have to say, it's been the worst 3 years that I've ever covered Doctor Who. To be honest, I don't think I'll ever see it like this again. The show, the fandom, or anything, to be quite honest with you. But for me personally, this has been a horrible experience. I've loved doing the panels with people that I've done the panels with. It's gotten quite passionate. I've enjoyed that side of it. But watching and then having to come out and try and defend this show from idiots that defend this era, it's just too much. It's yeah. Well, look, as I said, we've got all that history, so we will carry on. We'll do other stuff on this channel, and we'll have fun again. I want to have fun again. 2 weeks ago, I had fun. It was great. Everybody was in great form. I think that was our most watched stream in a long time. Everybody had great fun. And I missed that. So I want to have fun on this channel. I think people have unsubscribed because they're not having fun anymore. And to be quite honest with you, I wasn't having fun either. So I can understand where you are coming from. And I don't begrudge anybody that has unsubscribed. In a way, I don't really blame you, because if I was listening, I'd probably be saying, move on, mate. It's time to move on. So I'm going to take my own advice and I'm going to move on. Congratulations to the other side. You won't be celebrating for long, though. That's the only consolation that I have for this, is that you won't be celebrating for long, because these ratings are on free fall now. Free fall speed. It's done. So yeah, short victory, but it certainly won't be sweet. So well done. You know. Right, folks. Gotta thank you to everybody that's threw me a super chat tonight. I want to thank everybody who stayed and watched tonight. 39 of you stuck around to the end. 40 now. Really appreciate it. Also, what else? Moderators, thank you. I already said that, did I? If I didn't, thanks to all my moderators. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to me guests. Thanks to you guys as well. Listen, as I said, we will move on. We will move on, and we will make the best of it. And, as I said, we have all that Doctor Who. So you know, and I'm serious. I'm serious this time. You know, the last time, you know, and then I changed my mind about covering this series that was coming up. I'm not doing it. I would be true to myself. I know I said I needed to see where this ends, but I actually really don't need to see where this ends because it's not good for me. It's upsetting me. So why would I watch something that's upsetting me? So I can't bring myself to do it. So no, I'm not. I'm gonna do what everybody else is doing, and I'm going to boycott. But I will say this, right? If Rabbi has been consistent and said he's going to do it either way, that's his choice, and he's staying true to himself. And I'll expect you to call me out if I go back on this, right? But I will say this, I will call out anybody, and if it is on this side, I don't care. I will call you out if you have told the fandom not to watch and you end up reviewing this after you saying you weren't. All right, I'll expect it to be called out as well. But if you review this after saying you're not going to review it, I'm going to call you out. I don't care. Right? You stick to what you say now. If we're all going to do it, we do it together. End of. As I said, Rabbi has been consistent that he's going to do this, and I can't change Rabbi's mind, and I don't want to. Right? That's up to him and his channel, whatever he wants to do. But there's other YouTubers out there like me, and I'm keeping to it tonight. And as I said, if I do go back on it, you can pull me up on it, but I won't. Right? But if any other YouTuber that has said the exact same thing as me and then ends up going back on their word, I'm going to call them out. Right? You're not helping the situation, and you won't be helping the situation, by the way, if you do. Okay? You give this series no oxygen. None. Not even the Christmas special. No oxygen. Right? Don't care that the Daleks are in it. Don't give a crap. Right? They could have an ice cream van in, run over Dalek. Don't give a shit. Doesn't interest me. No oxygen. So we'll continue with our Classic Who reviews and watch-alongs and discussions. And then, as I said, I'll be covering other subjects and subjects that you want me to cover. I'll be covering, as I said, favourite TV shows of mine and all that stuff. We'll do some of your TV shows and all that other jazz. And obviously then there'll be other shows that I can start watching and see what they're like and stuff like that. You know, we could do ones where I watch-alongs where I watch a show for the first time and give you me thoughts while I'm watching. You know, there's plenty for us to do on this channel. So please, please, please stick with me. And thank you for all that have. And as I said, to all you guys that have left, I don't hold any ill will. In a way, I wouldn't have blamed you if you did, because, you know, I should have took me on advice weeks ago. So if you do come back, you're more than welcome back. But I can understand. But listen, folks, I'm going to leave it at that now because I don't want to get any more soppy and sentimental, which is all. But I really do appreciate all the support. Everybody that sent me a super chat tonight as well. Everybody that contributed in the live chat as well. All me moderators, you've been fantastic. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. All right. And until tomorrow, good night.